Hey folks, happy Monday. It is March 1st, 2021. We're about a year, probably right a year at the start of the pandemic. So what's going on right now? Stocks up, crypto's up, inflation up, the deficit's going up, the dollar going up. Have no clue how, why, where, and what, and when, but I'm going to explain it when we come back. Don't go away. Okay, so the good news is stocks are way up today. Why the reversal? Well, a lot of people are watching Warren Buffett. He's a buyer. Inflation, hopefully Chairman Powell, he runs the Federal Reserve. He's going to be speaking to Wall Street this week. Hopefully he puts a little bit of a taper on this thing. But guys, we're going to have inflation. So, it's a PR campaign right now of what's going on with inflation stuff. We're going to have it. They just approved a $1.9 trillion relief package. Money's just going out the door crazily. Do I agree with it or not? It's not a political channel. This channel isn't, I'm not a stockbroker, I'm not a wealth planner, I'm not an advisor. I'm just doing this to explain to you kind of what's in my head and how I invest and things that I watch. I'm actually a mortgage guy, so if you want to check out, you need any assistance with a mortgage anywhere in the country to buy, build, refinance, just check your options. If you're in a forbearance or you looked into a forbearance or know anybody, we'd love to talk to you to give you your exit strategy on how to get out of those programs. But let's get on to what's going on in the market right now. You see a big rally right now in stocks. Sorry, I dropped my pen. The biggest thing is out right now is Johnson & Johnson received, basically it was expedited approval on their drug for the coronavirus. And what that's doing is that's actually kind of giving a sigh of relief to the markets and everybody else. You can see stock markets staggering rebound Monday. Retreating Treasury yields and vaccine optimism is what's happening here. So let me go through all of this stuff with you guys. So I'm going to say the inflation. Let's go on the pandemic side of things. There's going to be a glut of vaccines out there to fix basically the virus or to contain or let's not say cure. Let's contain the pandemic. Okay, so that's one. So that's easing the markets. Two, are we going to have inflation? You betcha. But right now there's a huge campaign, and I'll say it's a PR campaign by all parties in government and the Fed coming out there saying, guys, there's inflation. No, there's going to be inflation. This whole pandemic is going to cost like $5 trillion when it all totals out. You can't you can't give out $1 trillion in money and assume the money supply isn't going to affect goods and services. Because you throw out a ton of money, people are going to start using that money and spending and spending and spending. That's what we want everybody to do. What's the offset of that? Well, there's a finite amount of products, say. You can't just instantaneously double your production. Okay, so let's say there's a finite amount of products available. We have more and more dollars competing against that product. Basic economics is the price has to go up to find the equilibrium of the supply-demand charts. Okay, when prices go up, what is that? Inflation. Okay, so it's basically impossible for us to do this without inflation going up. Now, is it going to go crazy and out of control? My thoughts, in the year's time or so, yeah, it's going to get pretty much, it's going to go higher than I think a lot of people anticipate. And those in the know. And that's why there's a huge PR campaign out there right now, because they're saying, if we come out there and say the world's ending, inflation is going to spike, you're going to see everybody, like we had last week, mortgage rates skyrocket, the bond market, go crazy, the stock market crash. So how do you put a lid on that? Your PR campaign. And so that's basically what I'm saying that's going on right now. Okay, so only time's going to tell. So rewind or watch this back, or come July, August, September, November, and we'll find out if Dan was right or not. So let's get on to the news. Okay, so what we follow here is the stock market. Guys, I'm a proponent of, I think it's a good market right now. If we got to these valuations where we are right now with the pandemic, when the world opens up and everybody gets all this money, you're going to see even bigger and better returns for companies, okay? And a lot of companies did very, very, very well during this pandemic session. The one that got crushed, or the ones that got crushed, are basically, entertainment, leisure, travel, because you couldn't travel even if you wanted to. So let's go over the numbers today. S&P up 87. That's 2.3% gain. The Dow up almost 700 already this morning. It is 10:19 Central Standard Time, my time. NASDAQ up 300. The Russell 2000 up 60. You can see we're up over 2% across the board, okay? So that's what's going on in that piece of the market. So let's go through some of these progressions here. Manufacturing sector at 3-year high. So there's a ton of manufacturing. So this is just proof that companies are doing pretty good. In retrospect, again, there's pockets that are doing terrible, but there's pockets that are just doing fantastic. Okay, rally picks upstream as market shakes off rate fears. So right now, the biggest thing is that I'll say what's in vogue right now is talking about interest rates, or the U.S. Treasury yields. Okay, so that's what's in vogue right now. And again, inflation's going to rear its ugly head. I think it's going to rear its ugly head pretty bad here in the next 6 months to a year. But the Fed and the government's going to do everything they can to PR it so it doesn't, affect the markets short term. And what happens so many times in our markets and in our government and everything, everybody looks at everything completely short term. And they always kick the can down the road, as we see with everything else. But let's go to the major news. Bitcoin is at a tipping point, could become currency of choice for global trade. That is going to be huge news today, and we're going to follow what's going on with cryptocurrencies next. Exxon Shares jump. Guys, what did I tell you back when? What sectors I think are going to do well? I said oil, because the Biden administration and the Democratic Party don't like, they're looking at green. I'm not saying good or bad one way or another. I'm just telling you, if you're going to have reduction in your supply, and then when the world opens back up at full capacity and you have demand that is higher than we are now, so let's say in 6 months you have more demand than we have today and less supply. What's going to happen? Prices are going to jump. That is fantastic news for the oil companies. Okay, so that's the play right there and then. But the biggest thing, again, right now is stimulus, pandemic, and bond yields or treasury yields. Okay, that's what's going on right now. There's some areas that I follow. I suggest you go into Morning Brew, and it's a subscription. It's free. So just go to morningbrew.com and just sign up for their daily updates, and a lot of information there to kind of just bring in for your morning updates is the best way to do that. Business news, let's see what's going on there. This is another one I subscribe to. CNN has their own morning updates. I subscribe to that as well. But again, Dow rallies as bond yields pull back and take a breather. Okay, so everything is pandemic, vaccines, bond yields, and stimulus. It hasn't changed at all in the last couple weeks. But again, the biggest thing was bond yields was the in vogue last 2 weeks, saying bond yields are going to go up, thus reducing revenues for companies. Now let's go to our watch list. Here's the companies that I own and or watch. I own most of these, believe it or not. You might say, why do you have so many? There's a reason for it, especially in today's speculative world. But let's go over the big plays that we have. The staples that I hold are Google, Amazon, Apple, and Facebook. What are they doing today? Google's up 1%, Amazon pretty much 1%, Apple 3.6%, and Facebook 1.59%. Look at this. Remember last week, it was like 3-4 days in a row. This whole thing was red. I mean, red beyond belief. And let's go down through it. Almost everything, and that's crazy. Almost everything is green except, look at 1, 2, 3. 3 stocks in this whole list of what I own and watch list. 3 out of all these are down. So let's go on what's going on with the cryptocurrencies, because I still think this is your, I'm adding to my positions. Am I saying, gloom, doom, the world's going to end for cryptocurrencies? Absolutely not, because I think it's a wave of the future, and behind it is the technology. So we have Bitcoin Cash. This isn't Bitcoin, it's Bitcoin Cash, up 7% today. Bitcoin Trust, and I buy these are actually stocks that I own that are basically their holding positions are all they do is buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or Bitcoin Cash or whatever. GBTC, this is what I suggest you look up. If you want to invest in Bitcoin, it's up 8.6% today. Ethereum up 10% today. Let's go to the blockchains that I own. This is the technology behind cryptocurrencies. Hive is up 12% today. PayPal is a play on the cryptocurrencies, plus it's just a great platform. It's up 4% today. We got Riot up 15% today. And that's it. There's one more, Mara. Where is Mara on this? Bear with me. Oh, where'd it go? I can't find it here. Mara is the other position for blockchaining, and I don't see it here. I'll have to add it back through. I might have been kicked out of my position with a stop loss. So apologize about that. Let's go. Anything else in here? I've been saying Disney is where I'm adding to my positions, because I think when the world opens up, travel and leisure, this is going to be a hot spot for that. You go there and you also take the boat, their cruise lines. Their cruise lines is like best of best. If you're looking to take a cruise, it is fantastic. Disney is up 3% today. Okay, XLF is the other position I'm adding to. This is the financial markets. It owns companies such as Citibank and Goldman Sachs and so forth. It's up almost 3% today. So those are the areas. But again, do your research. But what I look at is I buy my staples for the long term. These aren't in vogue right now, so you might take a little pain there. But in other areas, don't overdo it. But I put a portion of my portfolio in speculative things, such as cryptocurrencies. But then you have others like big companies like Disney and things like that are also great positions. If you really are like, I don't really know what to do, I would highly suggest, looking into Berkshire Hathaway. It is $250 a share. But when you're buying this, you're buying a huge assortment of companies owned by Warren Buffett. He basically, what he does is he goes in and buys up stocks. It's like a mutual fund, I guess is the best way to put it. What a mutual fund is they just go out and buy stocks of companies that they're interested in. Berkshire Hathaway does exactly that. He goes in and buys up, huge pieces of, like, say, Coca-Cola, companies like that. And he's a big holder of Apple. So just to let you know, this is a way to play it. Just buy this alone. You don't have to buy all of these. If you're looking to invest, I would highly suggest you look into Berkshire Hathaway stock. There's two variations. There's an A share and a B share. A shares are crazy priced. B shares should be in your realm. Even if you buy a share or two shares, that's what you're looking at there. U.S. dollar, well, because of the stimulus package went through, now all it has to do is pass the Senate. What should the dollar be doing? What should it be, and what is it? Well, when you're pumping a ton of money into the economy, you're devaluing the dollar. What's happening? Well, it's up 7 cents. Let's see where we are on the mapping system that I say. We're above the black line. Don't like it, but we're only 50 cents over. We peaked above 90. I want this position below 90 for a lot of my stocks and especially cryptocurrencies. What's going on with cryptocurrencies? Bitcoin up 11% in 24 hours. Ethereum up 17%, 24 hours. You go back through, what are my other positions? Litecoin up 11% last 24 hours. And where else is the other one? Bitcoin Cash. It is not on here. Where did it fall off the charts? Bitcoin Cash. There it is. Sorry, I had to go a little bit lower. It is up 11% in the last 24 hours. However, we got pounded last week. Look, almost everything over in these sections here are red, except for Cardano. Cardano's on a roll. This was under $1 last week, and now it's skyrocketing. So this is what I'm going to do a lot of research on this week to dig in on this. I still think Ethereum is the play on the platform that all this cryptocurrency trades on, and Bitcoin is the currency or the asset position that people are buying, and they know it. Okay, so I'm still a proponent of, if this is down, I'm buying the dips, because this isn't going away, guys. You have companies and investors putting billions of dollars of their own money in this. And can it crash? Yes, it can always crash. Will it? I doubt it. Okay, what's going on with the mortgage rates? This is what we follow. If you follow me in the evening, I go over what's going on with mortgage rates. The MBS is a mortgage-backed security. This is a bond that trades on Wall Street that actually is the biggest piece of the puzzle when it comes to mortgage rates. Down, when the price is down, that means rates are going up. And you can see this. This is moving. This is so volatile. It's usually pretty darn boring, steady. If you look back here, there's really no adjustments in this region right here. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, now it looks like cryptocurrencies basically. So this is all over the map right now. And I'm pretty sure on my call is that we're at a short-term bottom. And I don't really think that much is going to change from here. But the treasuries are down. The treasury yield, I was 1.4 here, or between 1.4 and 1.5 is a big indicator of what people are doing with their money. Are they going to put money in stocks or bonds? And I have other videos you can check out, especially Friday's video that I basically referenced, how that all works. And then I'm trying to find out what is in the stimulus package. Because all I hear is, we're bailing out states and we're bailing out this and we're sending money overseas and we're everything and anything that, I want them to use money to cure the pandemic, the virus. You don't have to send money to states that are not managed well. Does everybody in the country need a stimulus check? No. But those are my philosophies behind a lot of this, because basically when everybody says, "Oh, you're putting our children in a worse position," guys, you're doing exactly that when you're doing this stimulus package to the point that they're doing it. But I'm going to dig in on this, and I'll try to explain to you guys in an unbiased manner tomorrow on where all the money's being spent, and you might be surprised saying, "Why that? Why that? Why that?" And that's what I want you to do. My channel is to learn. I don't want to be political, controversial. I just want to give you the facts, and then you make your decisions. So that's it for today. Short and sweet. I will be back tomorrow morning. But if you're interested in mortgages or what's going on with the bond markets, things in real estate, check out my show every evening between 4 and 5 Central Standard Time that I post to tell you what's going on in real estate as well as the mortgage world. God bless, guys. Take care. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.